It's going, Tice. Hello and welcome to Jabberjaw. I'm your host, Jessica Dawson Collier, and with me, as always, is Tyson Wheeler Dynas and Matthew David Smith. Guys, welcome.
Thank you.
And welcome to Tyson, getting out of the chair and going to the door to let the cat out.
You saw it here first.
You hate to see,
let the cat out.
you hate to see me go, but you love to watch me leave. I know.
I was gonna start cat calling, but
Yeah,
that would be wrong.
There's nothing like these sweet ass Adidas tight pants, you know. It's the triple stripe Adidas.
Is that what Rev's B's engine?
I don't.
Like, guess what?
I think something closer to I don't know, some Ren Fair-esque maybe. I don't know. She's a complicated lady.
I like it.
Well, hi everybody at home.
Hello.
Hi.
It's been a few weeks.
Yeah,
Sorry for leaving you.
But we're here now. That's the important thing.
Yeah, we always come back.
We're back.
We do.
We're
not having to deal with hurricanes, unlike
that is
some people.
No.
I would always.
Yeah, I am a little jealous. Like I think it would be fun to go through a hurricane, but like only if I made it through.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever been through a hurricane when you were in Florida?
I think we moved like a couple months before they finally got, because like we had a couple close calls, like where people were boarding stuff up, and not us. We were just like, we're renting.
Not a big deal.
But no, I think like they had a pretty massive one, like not too, like couple months after we left.
Yeah.
Was that Andrew?
Oh, no shit.
They're not memorable. Was it Andrew? Was that Andrew? I don't know.
I'm sure there's a place in my office that's named after it, but I was there my third year that I lived there. So like 99 maybe, or so like second year, whatever. We had one that they sent us home a day and a half before it was supposed to hit. We didn't know what to do. We were renting a house in Oviedo, Florida. Sounds as good as it is. And so we did all the things.
Never heard of it.
You're supposed to do. It's a suburb. Anyway, you're supposed to do, we put duct tape on the windows. We filled the bathtub with water. Then I consequently dropped a book, one of my favorite books, into the bathtub somehow. Don't ask me how. I was completely sober. Anyway,
that is a fun story. I like that.
That is a fun story.
Yeah.
Classic Tyson.
Thank God for Amazon. Anyway, I finally got another copy of it a few years ago. Anyway, we did all the things you're supposed to do. And then my friend Marshall and his roommates had a party. They got inflatable rafts. I mean, they were going to have a good time with it. They got a keg. And then it just basically, like, it got kind of windy and basically just kind of missed us. So it was supposed to come in, and it just kind of ricocheted off the coast and went north. So no, I've never really been in one. But that was the closest one. But part of the reason, Matt, we never did anything to do that stuff, like to fix the windows, or like, not just because we were renting, because it was such a hassle to clean up like duct tape off of windows to try to get your security deposit back, and all the things that we tried to do that they told us to do. I'm sure we lost hundreds of dollars because we got goop. I mean, we spent hours on it. So that's why that's a main reason why we didn't do it.
Okay. So it wasn't
it wasn't a safety thing.
It was a financial decision.
It was. It was not even financial. Just laziness, I think, really.
That too. But it's nice to have like a second reason, like you can mention on a podcast.
Yeah, of course, it works.
So.
They did. I remember, right after we left, something hit, and it went through the state. It's not as powerful as this one, and
no, this one.
And so I remember
this one. Scary.
Yeah, this one's bad.
I've never seen the radar look like that. I'm like, is this real? Yeah.
It's bad when they show you a shot from the International Space Station. It's like,
I saw that. That was badass. That was really cool.
That was actually pretty sweet.
Like,
beautiful
destruction.
Hey, we need a bigger picture. Can you guys send us one? I guess it's
Nobody
good that
come
it's.
get our asses, so it's good. Might as well take some
Yeah.
pictures.
Might as well.
They've been up
I
there for
guess
months. Those poor bastards.
I
I think
know.
aren't they still
I
up there?
know. I feel sorry for him.
Oh,
Well,
Yeah, they're
maybe
still up there till February, I think.
oh my God.
maybe
Yeah, I'll
they're.
teach you to fly Boeing, right?
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
Jesus.
no shit.
Yeah.
Suck a big one, Boeing.
Well, maybe they're living their best life. They can. Maybe they've always
I
wanted to
mean,
be trapped in
Hey,
I
space.
man,
mean,
it'd be
assuming
great just floating around and eating Jello. That's how I
you're
view
right.
astronauts.
Eating Jello, eating astronaut ice cream, peeing in
Strap.
bags.
Yep.
The life.
Strapping in for a shit. All the fun
Yeah.
things you got to
Oh,
do as an astronaut.
oh yeah. I don't know. I get behind that.
I don't know. I
Astronaut
do
life.
I do feel sorry for that, but I did see a meme that made me laugh a lot, and it was a Mystery Science Theater meme where they talked about those two guys that were stuck up there, and then two evil scientists were going to send them up cheesy movies and
So,
make them watch them. Yeah, that made me happy. So, but yeah, it sucks. I think it's. Well, I mean, the good news. I suppose the good. We were talking about this before it started, so we were saying that like this storm is so crazy. It's like it's going to be as strong as scientifically possible as we know right now. And Matt was saying, you were saying what about Category 6?
yeah, I just was reading something briefly about like that it was like poised. It's like, what would a category 6 look like, or why, is that even possible? And I don't think they know. So maybe Florida will be the first at something and have the world's most devastating storm. Uh,
Another
Maybe.
yeah,
another long line of terrible firsts for Florida.
it really,
Oh
really,
God.
really, yeah, yeah, and
But
it's happening.
aren't the Dems controlling the weather according to
The
According to
Jew.
Morgan?
MGT, yes. According
Yeah,
to
MGT.
MGT,
Yeah,
yeah, we've got our finger on the trigger, and
yeah.
I mean, if we could really control the weather, like, do you think we'd be like this, like boring? Like, I mean, no, fuck no, no, no. Like, just like
Surgical.
like there's a drop down menu for select state, and then weather impact, select level, enter your date of birth, hit submit. Sorry, Louisiana. Yeah, I no, I like I that
I
would.
like Louisiana. We'd have to give them a break a
I
little
mean,
bit.
that's kind of a cool conspiracy. If I had like one conspiracy theory that like that'd be a pretty neat one that like we could actually like we can't even predict the weather. My
Yeah,
God, like
exactly.
what the fuck? It's good to see Crazy MGT back though. It's been a while. It's been a
It
Yeah,
while.
has
it's
been a
been
while. I missed her. Yeah,
she.
Yeah.
I think she did.
flapping her guns.
I think I saw something to indicate a headline or something. I don't know, or something on the news that indicated that she added lasers into her weather control thing as well.
Yeah, I think that's part of the Jewish lane.
Excellent.
I don't know if they were Jewish or not. They might be
Ah,
Gentile lasers this time. I think
oh
it's the,
yeah,
the Jewish lasers control. I forget what did the Jewish lasers do? I time is
I
I've
don't know.
lost
Probably,
my.
It's been
probably,
so long.
It
Yeah,
has
probably,
been
I
so
don't
long.
remember.
probably
Yeah.
what you order on DoorDash or something like that. Something
Probably.
inconsequential. Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
she's back. Well, yeah, I don't know. That's true. I kind of missed the crazy a little bit.
It's good for her to kind of pop up every now and again.
Remember when we thought
Uh,
Kellyanne Conway was like the craziest one out there? Like that's a long
seems
time
so
ago.
long ago.
it does seem long ago.
You
Yeah,
know,
there's the benchmark is high now. Like it's
Yeah,
high.
it's
Like
really far up
you
there.
gotta like, and they're like the leaders of the party. Like she's a
Yeah,
superstar. Like which is
yeah.
nuts, but also makes a hell of a lot of sense when you think about it.
I,
Because
I I don't know if you. Well, that's true. Yeah, I don't know if you guys. I does it not feel like it's been a month since a vice presidential candidate debate? It literally feels like when they did it on Saturday Night Live, I was like, "Oh shit, that was like this week." Like it feels like it's been a month since. To
I
me,
I
I
kind of
don't.
forgot about it already
I
until you
did
mentioned
too.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah, like
yeah.
it was so like civil and like it was just kind of weird. I was like I no, like like I don't it didn't change anybody's minds. What's
Nah.
I think what you
No,
said immediately following it, all the polls kind of vetted that out that like yeah, there's vice presidents why I know the word vetted. Interesting. I never thought about that. Uh, uh, uh yeah, but
they well, they did a was yeah, it pulled basically the thing, but I think I did read somebody who had the same. Because I kind of told you guys in the middle of it. I felt like it was JD Vance, basically 2028. He was running, uh, you
yeah.
know, and that guy. I mean, that guy is like just a snake. But you know, like,
Total snake.
but you know, that's And then I did read like a think piece the next day. It basically kind of agreed with me, so it made me feel a little bit better. But it did seem like a introduction. I mean, he had to do his Donald Trump stuff, here and there. But
Of
Right.
course. Yeah.
Now, like the best description I heard on was like I think on CNN like immediately following it, and I think he did a good job. It was like he was sort of laundering Trumpism for like the normal
Mhm.
masses, and like he did do a
Yeah.
pretty damn effective job at that. As much as I dislike the man, but he
yeah,
did. He made it seem like he did for what you have to defend. Like that's a lot of shit.
it is.
Especially
Yeah.
when he doesn't believe it. Like that's the other thing. Like he
No, he
knows he's as big a
doesn't.
piece of shit as we
Yeah.
do, but like but he's an opportunistic, kind of ass face, and so he's like, yeah. But he did like, so I don't know. Like it was very civil. I think that kind of probably hurt Waltz a little bit, just because I think like he didn't attack, and like that's when they go nuts and like and that was where Kamala's like that's where she won at. Like she just was,
Oh, for
kind of
sure.
attack,
Yeah.
attack, attack, and he
Yep.
just didn't have it in him. And fair enough. Like if
Yeah.
that's not your personality, but like oh my god, like they almost like broke for hugs like 3 or 4 times. Like they really did. Like they were
Yeah.
just like, oh yeah, I
They
agree with you a
really
lot. And
did.
I'm like, oh, thank you, Tim. No, I
You could
appreciate
have
that
played a
comment. But
drinking game with, "I actually agree with you." And then
yeah,
it's
Yeah.
like, all right,
and
getting
if
drunk."
if
Yeah.
anything, I think that kind of hurt Waltz because like it just like
Yeah.
it just added to the normalization of things. And so, but he did better than I thought he might. I think there was the campaign had
He
kind of
did.
outwardly
Yeah.
admitted that they were a little bit worried about what was going to happen, and so he did a fair job. Like he
I
was again, it was sort of
he's
style over truth, and
yeah.
it
I
was
mean,
kind of a
he's
draw.
yeah. I mean, he's not yeah. Basically, like his sincerity, slash credibility was much more prevalent than his debating skills. I mean,
Yes.
he didn't push back on many lies that were told, or fabrications
Yeah.
or whatever you want to do. I was really surprised immediately after the thing where everyone was like, "Oh my god, he lost so bad! Oh my god, he lost so bad!" Balls, and I was just like, "No, I don't think that's going to play out the way you guys think it did."
No.
But
No.
again, we had all agreed way earlier that it wouldn't matter. Like it wasn't
No.
going to change anybody's mind,
No,
and it
I mean, there's always been this myth of the undecided voter. I mean, who really is like,
At
hmm,
this point, exactly.
yeah.
Come
point
on.
to you, sir. No one's doing that. No one,
But you know what? I
everyone.
think there are a subsection of people that like just watch entertainment news and like they don't know anything about anything, you know,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
That
they
is
follow.
that is possible, and they just like
No,
accidentally
it's a
like
fact.
accidentally like ran it, and like they were like, oh shit, like what? And it's possible. I believe that. I
Yeah, I
believe
mean,
that.
or they're like, "Oh fuck, it's I guess somebody's running for president." I mean, I don't know. I heard my dad say something. Like I think there's
Yeah.
a bunch of people like that.
Oh, if Trump
Yeah.
wins again, I'm turning into one of those people. Like I will know what a Vanderpump is if that's the way it rolls. Like so, I get it. Like I totally get it. I did that after 2016, where I just went on media blackout for like 2 years. It was the best thing for me. It was just like, yeah, it's like it's literally got to land on my house for it to be news. And yeah, that's
You know what, Matt? You really should put. Like I don't know if you've ever heard of this. There's this app called 10% Happier. It's just called Happier now. It's a meditation app that my wife uses and I use sometimes. Um, you should put together an app like that called Blackout News and just be like, and just put together a bunch of like things. Well, you're not going to do this, but it would be great if they had an app like that where you're just like, here's all the distractions you need to not know what's going on in the world. You know what I mean? Like,
it's actually not a terrible idea. Like
It's not bad.
I remember them used to talking about, and I don't know how far this actually went, but I remember that there was this whole sort of like good news effort, like in the '90s, maybe late '80s, early '90s,
Oh,
where it was like, do you
yeah.
remember this? Where
yeah,
it was like, we're focusing on the good news and the positive news, and so if I can find it, that's going to be the sort of the stick in the mud is if I can find a constant source of data. We'll start with our always positive headlines,
Always positive.
always
yeah,
I mean,
positive
let's be
headlines.
honest. Didn't
yeah.
John Krasinski do something to kind of like
He
bring that
did.
back during the pandemic?
Yeah, he did.
It was like
Like,
a YouTube series of some sort,
yeah, it's like
maybe.
I think it might have just called Good News. I think it might have.
Yeah, the good news or
Oh
whatever. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I know. I'd like thought it was silly at the time, but I'm kind of starting to see how it
We're
might
gonna
make a
need a
little
lot of
sense.
that. I'm
We are
just
going to need a
saying.
lot of positive news, a lot of Boy
Yeah.
Scouts walking old ladies across the street, and
No,
just I don't know,
it's a
you know.
tricky line though because so I'll give you an example. Like so, you got a hurricane that just wiped out a bunch of towns, right? But you got
Yeah.
all these nice people coming in from all over the country to help, so that's good news.
That's true. You're gonna
But you
have to weigh it.
Yeah, you're gonna have to be like,
Yeah,
Right, right.
right,
or maybe
Yeah.
like,
right,
don't talk about the hurricane until people come in to help.
right. Because
Like,
there's a certain yin and yang between negativity and positivity. Like
There
positivity is sort of
is.
like preventing the negativity from, saves a dog from, like it's like, well, he would have
eats a
just
dog.
eats a dog. Yes,
Or eats a
yes.
No,
dog.
saves a dog versus eats a dog. It's like
Saves a dog versus eats a dog. It was delicious, so let's focus on the
that's true.
positive.
There's your yin and yang right there.
Yeah,
Dog died. It
and
was
we'll work on
delicious.
it. We'll work on it. We'll work on it. We'll kind of flesh it out a little bit. But I like that. I like that. That may be actually on November 6th. That may be sort of. I may be like, all right, I'm going to start working on this
You
positive
could
news
start the
thing.
opposite of the Drudge Report, what the Drudge Report used to be, and just call
That's
it the
true. You could, yeah,
you call it the Fudge Report or something, and just be like,
the fudge report. Hmm. About tasty treats
yeah, that's right
and
Yummy.
positivity.
for your
And
brain.
positivity
Positivity.
for
Right.
all. Oh my God.
Mm.
So what are you
Uh,
guys up to? What has transpired in your lives since we've last shared it with the general public?
I'll go last. Mine's the boringest. You guys go.
Size. Oh my God.
It was my idea, so you go, Dawson. Yeah.
Okay. I went to part of the reason that we had a little delay is my fault. I went to Kirksville, Missouri to visit my stepdad and my brother, and we did a little road trip to Iowa City with one of my sister's best friends. I don't know if you guys haven't been to Iowa City before, right? I think we
I've
concluded that.
I've driven through it. I did not stop.
No, I have
So
not.
it sounds like I
That is
should have.
fair.
Sounds
That
like
is
I should
fair.
have.
You should have. And I would recommend stopping next time and staying the night. I really enjoyed it. It was like Fort Collins and Lawrence, Kansas had a baby, and
Wow,
we had a great time over the weekend. Really good record store, decent food scene. I mean, there's a bunch of chain restaurants. It is the Midwest, whatever. But great little arcade there. It was awesome. I loved it.
that's
I
cool.
can't wait to go back. If I was forced to move back to the Midwest, I would consider it
Yeah.
on a very short list of places to live. But yeah, we had a good time. My sister is now 26, my littlest one, which is weird, very, very weird.
That is weird.
Um, Right? Like it's just strange to see your siblings get older. And I also figured out that my brother's going to be 40 next year during this trip, which also set me into a spiral of sorts if we're being honest. Uh but yeah, that was my week last week, and then work was crazy insane while I was away. So my brain is just like scrambled eggs right now, but it's all good. It'll even out eventually,
Very good.
maybe.
Well, that's
What
good.
about you, Smith? I feel like you guys did something pretty cool for Kathy's
Yeah.
birthday,
We
right?
did, yeah. So it's Kathy's birthday on Friday, and so we have been. There's a little piece of property that we have had an offer on, accepted on, and so we're still kind of checking some things out, making sure
So
there's
cool.
water and that it's
Very neat.
livable. And so there's a little town that's about 3/4 of a mile away from this property, and it's in the middle of freaking nowhere. It's in the middle of the Hoosier State Forest, and so
Mm.
it's very woodsy. It's very remote.
Yeah.
There's no chance of neighbors.
Yay.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
love
mostly
it.
squatters. But yeah, I'm very, very excited about just possibility of like because you never know, you never know. It's that risk you take anytime you move somewhere. The
That's true.
one factor you cannot control is who your neighbors are, and
Very
Mm.
true. Yep.
concerns me. I lose a lot of sleep over it. But the so no, we actually went to. There's this little town called Story, Indiana.
Oh
And I
my
think it was
God. It's
founded in like
fucking
the 18,
adorable.
1830s. And a few years ago, the whole entire town was actually up for sale for
Oh
like
wow.
$3 or $4 million. Way too much. I mean, it's a very nice place, but probably too much. And it's just like an old general store. And they've got like three or four houses, kind of cottage types places. And they have like a fine dining restaurant.
Oh,
And so
really?
yeah, yeah. And the food was exceptional. It was so good.
I was
Like
gonna
we
say it's like a deliverance situation. Did you
no,
get
no,
things
that's the
for
thing. That's like I think their motto is like something about like the most inconvenient place on earth or something like that. Because it's not near anything. But
Yeah.
no, they have like an in-house restaurant. It was really, really, really good. I think it was a best butternut squash. It was the only butternut squash I'd ever had, but it was excellent. It was very good
Diesel.
butternut squash. Had a ribeye, which was quite
Oh,
tasty, and
I
some
love ribeye. Yeah.
risotto. And no, dinner was fantastic. And so we actually stayed in, I think it was like Doc Story's house, like whoever the
Oh, wow.
namesake of the town. We stayed in his, and it was really nicely renovated. The place was huge. Like we didn't like it was just the two of us. We didn't like run crazy, but like it was no, it was
Yeah.
just really kind of classically restored, kind of old house. Apparently it's supposed to be haunted. Apparently
I was gonna
there's
ask, what about the
there
ghosts?
yeah. So there's one. So the
Tyson, shut the fuck
above the general
up.
store. Yeah, what about the ghost? The general store, above the general store, there's some rooms that
This
they've
is
kind
what
of
I bring to
renovated,
the conversation.
and those are supposed to be pretty haunted. And there's like one room that's like they call the Blue Lady room, which is very very
Ooh,
similar to the
another
Blue
blue
Light Lady.
lady.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
Blue Ladies apparently have a lock on the sort of
In the spirit
the
world, huh?
the spirit world. Yes,
Spooky. Yeah.
yeah. So anyway, so no, but like apparently there were lots of stories about kind of how haunted it was and stuff like that. We
Yes.
did not see really any paranormal activity except for when we did karaoke, and so in the basement they had Fridays was karaoke night. They do
Yeah.
just so put this in, pencil this in. I think on Tuesday night they do movie night, and then on Fridays they
Is
do
this a wait?
karaoke night.
Hold on. Is this a bed and
This
breakfast?
is amazing.
It's kind of like that. Yeah, it's kind of like that. Like the main general store, which houses the houses the restaurant upstairs, and then there's like kind of living quarters
I
on
see.
the
Okay.
second
So
floor,
I
and
got
then in the basement there's a bar.
it. Okay. Okay.
Um, and it is local, like it is local,
Yeah.
and there were
Okay.
local people there, and so it was
They
and so it was
yodeled.
very
Not a lot of teeth in that place.
they had teeth, I think. I'm not sure they were the originals, but they did have vast majority did have teeth.
All
And
right.
$3
That's good.
PBRs, which I'm always a fan
Oh,
of.
All right.
Uh,
lovely. All right.
oh
That
yeah,
works.
it's like an Indiana thing. I don't know why, but there are lots of places that offer like the $3 PBR. It's like I don't know, it's like giving back to the community, I
Yeah.
think.
That's right, yeah.
Um, but no,
Service.
so we went down after, had a great dinner. Went down and did karaoke. We did not participate in the karaoke, but it was very country. It was a lot of, but it was like old country, so it was like
Yeah.
yeah,
Sure.
I'm fine with that. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
there was one girl that was like 20. Apparently, I guess the laws don't apply there. But she did like a couple Amy Winehouse songs. She did like Valerie and another
Hmm.
Back to Black maybe, which was fun. Like that was kind of mixing it up. But there was this one gentleman that we met named Brandon, and Brandon was very very drunk. And Brandon was not a fan of Kamala Harris, and so he sang like there was
Whoopsies.
some country song that he sang that was like Kathy and I were just kind of laughing at what he was saying, and then we like looked over at the lyrics on like the board. We're like, holy shit, the song actually says this. Um,
Oh shit.
and it was just about like taxes and like black people, the typical
Oh,
kind of like yeah. And no, but like he just
Nice.
went on this rant about like, I mean, but that was a little awkward, like this, but he was very drunk, and so it was. But well, we were probably there for a couple hours, and
local flavor, right?
yeah, it was a local
Oh
flavor. Yes,
yeah.
it
Yeah.
was
It's a lot.
very local. So it was. So no, but it was a really good time. So if you're ever in Indiana, I highly recommend stopping by Story. When it
I
was
would like
actually
to
on the
go there. Can we
when it
go
was
there
actually
when
on.
we stay at your new
Oh,
place?
absolutely, yeah, absolutely, and that's kind of what we're thinking is like if that all works out, then like that's because like this house like has like I think 3 or 4 bedrooms, and like it's very reasonable. I mean for having
How old
that
is
many
this
people.
house?
I want to say like 1850s
Oh,
probably.
Holy
So it's an
shit.
old house.
I
Yeah,
am
it's a very old
bringing
house.
ghost equipment.
Yeah, but it
We're
was actually like much much nicer than you should be like ghost equipment. Like it was very nicely renovated. It didn't like have like that musty kind of old house smell, which kind of drives
That's
me
nice.
nuts. Like,
Okay.
so yeah, so I agree. If I had devoted more time to the paranormal, but yeah, I think
If I could make a recommendation, I would say that you guys find a local witch and sage the shit out of that place as
yeah,
soon as possible.
but did you?
a local witch.
Yes.
Yeah, is that
Someone
like
you
Angie's?
trust.
It's like Angie's list. I got Angie's list for that.
Maybe. I
Uh,
think you can. If not, maybe one of my friends here can take a little trip with me and help you
You'd be
it's like
out.
You can do it. You can do it yourself. Actually, we have a friend that does it every time they move into a new house.
Yeah.
You
Get a
figure it
little
out.
smudge stick.
Yeah, just don't burn the house down. That's
That's what
you
I'd be. Yeah,
know.
that's
Yeah,
like
But I
much
mean,
much
don't
like
do
you.
that.
Yeah, much like you dropping the book into the bathtub. I would
yeah.
probably just
That's
end up
yeah.
burning the spirits away. Yeah, for all.
So is the house? Is that what you put a thing on, or that's just someplace you stayed? I'm confused. Did you buy land, or you put an offering on land, or you
Yeah,
a house?
So yeah. So there's a land and it has a little kind of pre-existing structure that they didn't quite finish off
Ah,
that I think
okay.
I'm gonna ultimately plan on kind of finishing into a cabin. They call it a barn, but I think that was done for tax purposes because it like has
Sure.
like
Yeah.
a
That
proper
sounds about
roof and like
right.
has like
Uh-huh.
electricity running to it and stuff. So yeah, no, we've got some. There's some work to do, but we're very excited. We're very excited to kind of
Very
So
fun.
cool, buddy.
have a
Yeah,
little
I'm
Yeah.
so
homestead
happy for you guys.
in the middle of nowhere next to Story.
Is it close
But
to
we could
the?
karaoke.
Is it close to that venue we went to see Ben Folds? Is it in that area?
It is. Yeah, it's right. It's actually super close to that. It's considered in Nashville, Indiana,
Oh,
and so
okay.
it's in that area. It's very close to
Well, I know
that.
you
Yeah,
guys were like kind of. You were
yeah. It's a
you
really
were
like
you were
it's.
bubbling over the place. So
Oh
I'm glad
yeah,
you
no,
found a
it's a beautiful little area. Just lots of forest. Like I remember the first time like I went to Washington State, having like been in Kansas most of my life, and I was like, what are all these trees? Like these trees are
It's
not like
amazing.
there's
Once you
lots and
see
lots of
trees for
trees.
the first time, you
It's
don't go back.
nuts,
Yeah.
right? Because
Yeah.
Kansas does not have trees. Like I mean, we have
No.
trees, but
No.
they're like they're
A
pretentious because
tree.
they're
Yeah.
a
we
tree,
don't we
yeah.
don't have accidental trees. We have trees, but they've been planted.
That's true. That's true. We
Yeah,
have to plant that shit. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
Yes.
Only what Johnny Appleseed left behind.
pretty much.
That's
Yeah,
what we've got in Kansas, what
whatever
he
seeds
That's true.
scooped out of his bag. Yeah.
yeah, whatever
Yeah.
seeds flowed down the river. That's our trees basically.
Well, yeah, but no, really fun weekend, and yeah, so I'll keep you posted. But,
That's
No,
so cool.
what are you up to, Tyson?
um, let's see. Uh, I did
It was
go to a
very
concert.
authoritative.
I did go see a concert. I'll talk about that during the plugs.
Oh,
I let's see. I started physical therapy.
Nice.
I can, I now can lift. I've been released from my 5 pound limit, and I'm at 10 pounds.
Excellent.
Yeah, 6 weeks at 10 pounds. So it's hilarious. She was like, my physical therapist. Like I keep asking her like if we can work on this. She's like, let's go slow, and I'm like, fuck, this is gonna take forever, but it's fine. Yeah, it's okay as long as we get it right this time. I went to a friend of mine actually has been working for this luthier in Lawrence, and today I went to pick up my guitar. I had to do some work on it, and I got a job offer to be a luthier, uh,
Oh.
and that
interesting.
sounds pretty neat. You guys know I went and did all that training.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
I don't know how I'm gonna make it work though. So, but it was nice to be asked. Uh, that's that's what I'm gonna say. That's what I'm gonna say. I don't know. I don't know if I can make a living. They work from 10 to 4, 4 days a week. It doesn't seem like I'm gonna, like probably be able to pay all the bills with that kind of money. But anyway, it was pretty cool. And yeah, that's it.
That's all right.
I watched the Royals and the Chiefs play last night at the same time.
Yeah, I
Uh,
saw
That
that.
was amazing. You
yeah,
and literally everyone else from Kansas and Missouri.
it was pretty
I
fun.
saw so many people were texting me, including you, with like two screens going on. This is amazing. I'm like, it's
Yeah,
pretty cool.
I don't know anything about like professional baseball anymore. So are they like in the playoffs
yep.
now? Is that okay?
Yeah,
Okay.
basically, they have different names for it, and I can't be asked to fucking commit them to memory, but yeah, they're basically in the playoffs, and so they're
Okay.
playing the Yankees. They're tied up at 1-1. They should have won the first game. That was a bad call, but whatever. And I don't watch baseball really at all, but I will tell you, Matt. I think we talked about this. They've got all these new rules now that speed the game up, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's not as bad. It's not as like, oh my god, like where the pitcher like picks his butt and dicks around for 45 minutes throwing the guy out at first like 6 times in a row. It doesn't, like get back on the base. It's not like that.
But that's why I always appreciated is baseball is like the the national pastime is because like chances were you could go do anything for half an hour and not miss a goddamn thing. And so
Yeah,
and
Right.
that's why I think it was very American. That's why soccer. I mean, they say soccer's big here.
It's big
But no,
here.
people know
Soccer's
because it's.
big here. It's actually one of my plugs. I
I
went
don't
to
think
my
like I don't
first
think like
soccer
people
game.
do people watch it on TV like
No,
they
but
do.
I
Yeah,
think,
that's what I.
but I don't know that people watch baseball on TV either. To be fair,
That's true
Some
too.
people
Yeah,
do. I have a
yeah,
couple friends that are diehards.
uh,
I
yeah.
don't get it.
Actually, I have a couple friends that watch all the whole World League Cup soccer,
yeah. I mean,
American football. I don't
Yeah,
know. Yeah,
yeah.
we have a
yeah.
lot of boosters here in town. We have, but anyway, yeah. But yeah, again, soccer I think is an easy one to walk away from as well. Uh, you know, but like the thing with like baseball is you're right. You can walk away for 30 minutes, especially when the games usually last 5 hours. And
Right,
not miss a damn thing.
Yeah, you're
right,
not gonna miss a lot. That's
right.
true.
I
Yeah.
was
Uh
one time I was working a game on the radio at KOIS, a Royals game, and they were so slow that the two announcers noticed this little mound type shape in the field that wasn't supposed to be there in Royal Stadium, and they talked about how whether it was a knoll or a mound for about 15 to 20 minutes trying to decide. And I was like, "Oh, you can kill me right now!"
this
Like,
is hard. This is hard. Yeah.
oh my god. So anyway, but both teams won last night, so that's great. It was
We're
fun.
good. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That was a good
Did you
season.
guys see the victory shot of George Brett with his shirt off
No,
after both teams won?
they
No.
they cut to him several times, but I did not see
Oh
that.
yeah, which I love George Brett. Like I was such a Royals fan back in the '90s. But it's fucking funny, and it's going to be our show's mascot this week
Excellent.
for
I do
sure.
have to ask because I don't know that we've actually talked about this before, but there was a viral video that my friends and I kind of just love to death, kind of in the early 2000s. Are you aware of the George Brett bathroom story video?
I am.
I don't
Yeah.
remember this.
Okay,
What happened?
I
Or are you
can't
just
really.
gonna send it?
I
Okay.
can't, yeah, I'm gonna see if I can find it. I can't really tell you, but I'll post it. I'll send it
Okay.
to our team of
Oh,
BFF after the
definitely
show.
worth your 5 to 6
It
minutes to watch
is,
that.
yeah, it is.
Okay.
Basically,
I will watch
he's
it.
mic'd.
Yes.
He's basically mic'd up while he's coaching or like a game, and he tells this story about having to go to the bathroom in Vegas, and it is fucking hilarious,
Yeah.
gross, but very
Yeah.
hilarious.
I,
So I will.
I'm into it.
I had to pull. I had to mention that because that's immediately that is his legacy in my head.
Yeah. Well,
A great season in '85. Also that, yeah.
Also that.
Yeah.
his. I mean, to be fair, like you're right. His laissez-faire way of talking about that particular situation, and that it's happened a few times.
Yeah.
I think he said like four
It's
times a
happened a
year,
few times? Oh
something like that.
god.
Yeah.
It's great.
He gets through it like he's told the story 1,000
Yeah,
times
pretty
before
I'm
much.
too, which was
sure. I'm
hilarious,
sure.
which was
Okay.
absolutely hilarious. But yeah,
Definitely
no,
worth
we'll
watching though. Yeah.
absolutely.
Okay.
I
And
will
he
dig
is
that
the
out.
greatest
It's been a
baseball
while.
player
Send it
from
to our
the
group
Royals.
chat for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. He was a hero. I may actually still have his rookie card.
I have his
Maybe.
bobblehead.
Lucky. You have
Yeah.
his bottle? Oh my god. I
Wow.
remember my brother and one of my cousins I was just telling Jonas this last night, fighting over his baseball card. My
Oh
cousin
wow.
Eric had it consistently. You know when like trading baseball cards was like a thing
Oh
in the
yeah. Oh,
80s?
absolutely.
Oh my god, it was the funniest thing to watch those two fight over baseball cards. It was George Brett and Ken Griffey Jr.
Oh
And it was
yeah.
the same fucking bullshit every day. Like I'll give you like the most ridiculous trades, and they also hadn't gone through puberty yet, so they just sounded like little girls bickering. It was the best. It was so great.
So actually, I have a fun story related to that. When I was probably in like the fourth grade, living in Wichita, I had a neighbor, and his dad had a bunch of like old like '60s, like '50s and '60s baseball cards. And
Nice.
one of them it wasn't his rookie card, but it was like a '53 Topps mantle that
Mm.
was worth at the time like 3 or 4 grand, and he had a
Oh.
bunch of
Oh,
other cards, and so he could have given a shit about these old cards. He wanted my like you know my Brett Saberhagen rookie card, and so I traded.
oh shit! That's a
It was
blast from the past.
very temporary though because
Wow.
his
Yeah.
father found out what happened, and I think I had possession of those cards for about 24 hours. Yeah, it was a
Wow.
yeah. His name was
And
Philip,
that's
and
no
he.
shit. When dads got involved, it was like
Oh no,
game
it was
over.
over. It
Yeah.
was over. What am I didn't have a leg to stand on as a fourth grader. Like my knowledge of the legal system was pretty limited at that time. I didn't have didn't have the solid representation I've got
Yeah.
today. But yeah, it was
That kid's dad probably never looked at him the same way for the rest of his
Oh,
oh
life.
no way.
shoot
Such
that was
disappointment. Yeah.
Yeah.
oh yeah. So it was a smart trade. That was a smart trade. It
Yeah,
just didn't it was. I totally knew I was scamming the kid though. I don't know. I have to like think back on it's kind of a moral reckoning of me as a 10-year-old. That was
Whatever.
kind
It
of a
just seemed
mean.
like that was, you know what? Was it moral, or were you just tapping into your entrepreneurial spirit at a young age? You know,
Uh,
Yeah.
I don't
Right.
know.
put a
It's all
spin
about
on it.
He
perspective.
also
Yeah.
like only had 7 fingers, so that kind of makes it even
The
kind of
dad
worse
or
on
the
Oh,
him.
kid?
wow.
Oh, the kid only had 7 fingers. Yeah.
Did he lose him, or he just didn't?
What
He lost
happened?
them. He lost them. He was mowing the
Oh,
lawn.
Oh.
He was mowing the lawn, and this was before. You know how modern mowers have that little pull thing? You have to pull that, like
to
otherwise,
hold it.
Yeah.
because then the blade stops.
Yeah.
Well, back in the '80s, kids just had to learn the hard way, and so he cleared off some grass and also cleared off his couple. So they
Poor
were
kid.
apparently
That
they
sucks.
reportedly they were in his freezer. I never saw them though. I think it would have freaked me out too much. But anyway,
Reportedly.
that's another story for
Yeah.
That's for
for your
another
consumption.
time.
Yeah. So
I
anyway,
love that. I love that. I was like, we got to save until we bury the whole body.
I believed him. I believed him.
If he doesn't get buried with his whole body, he won't go to heaven. We just got to make sure.
Like gorilla doing it in an open casket. That shit on.
It looks so natural. Yeah. Thank God, like that though. I think that got me out of mowing the lawn for like until
That's
at least
Oh
like
my
middle
God.
school. Like at
Yeah.
least until
Yeah.
middle school, I didn't have to mow the lawn because that was a cautionary tale for parents. Having their 7-year-old out mowing the lawn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is
So
stupid, by the way. Yeah,
yeah,
That
it
is
was not
so dumb.
probably because you make dumb mistakes like leaning over and
you know
picking
what?
grass. I mean,
Trading away those cards, that was fucking payback. I'm sorry. I've changed my tune. His dad should be like, fucking, we're even now.
Just deserves.
you're probably right. You're
Take
probably right.
that, Dad.
In
Yeah.
his head, yes. Yeah.
Your son can't fucking write now.
I'll never play
Uh,
Operation
That is
again.
my dominant hand, Dad.
Yeah.
See, these are the lessons that like millennials and Generation Y are never going to learn. Like this is just
No.
the shit that happened.
The
Like
80s, man, fuck, it
oh
was
no,
nuts.
no, you're never going to
The
learn these
shit our
lessons.
parents let us do, I'm
Oh
still
my
blown
god,
away.
we talk about that all the time. I was talking
Yeah.
about with my good friend Ryan the other night. Is just like just the amount of freedom we had as children.
Yeah.
Like it was like be home sometime. This is because we had no communication devices. There was
That's right.
no where's my kid at app. I mean, there was just like it was like they're around.
Somewhere.
That was
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
app. They're around.
Yeah,
They'll get
that was
hungry
it.
eventually. Yeah, I need money
Yeah.
eventually. Like that's what'll bring them back. Needs.
That was it. Literally, my mom would scream. She'd come out on the porch and scream for us to come in for dinner. We'd come in, eat as fast as we could, and get right back out there. And then
Yeah.
we'd be gone for I don't even know until it was way past dark.
Yeah,
It's
and I
not
love
good.
that because you were limited to the transportation you had because like having your parents drive you somewhere was like I mean at least
was
for
a
me was a luxury. It didn't happen very
Yeah.
often. Like
It did not happen with
I had to
us
lobby
either.
for a while to get to go to like
Yeah. To
but
go to
like
the
so
mall, go to the
right.
movies,
So
any
you
of
had
that
to hang
shit.
out with
Yeah.
like the kids in your neighborhoods. You had to like
Yep.
explore and find those kids and form your own community. And like I don't think that now they just meet playing
Doesn't really
Fortnite.
happen anymore.
No, I think they
Yeah.
just yeah. Apparently the kids just kind of hang out at home and like chat.
Tune in next week for Jabberjaw. We're old. Part
It's
3.
okay. It's all right. I'm fine with it. I really am. I'm
Guys,
okay with
you
it.
can
But you're
chime in
right.
too. God damn
Yeah.
it.
I'm
Yeah.
the oldest
Yeah.
one here. God damn it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Actually, yeah,
Kids these days. Let's
Kids
that's
just
these
right.
change
days,
the
they don't
name of
know.
the
They don't
podcast.
even know how to ride a fucking bike. I'm like, come on. That's literally your first taste of freedom.
Oh,
I still
absolutely it
remember
was.
learning how to ride a bike on my pink Huffy and my dad letting go of my seat and just taking off and feeling like the wind on your face and being like, oh my God, I can go anywhere by
Right.
myself.
No.
It's
And
great.
now they remember when the parental controls were taken off their
Yeah.
iPhone. Like that's
Yeah.
Freedom.
Freedom.
I,
I can look at all the nasty Instagrams I want. This is awesome.
Oh, exactly. This is the
I,
world now. That's okay.
This is.
I don't know. Just as a weird side note before we get on to other things. I think in 4th or 5th grade, one of the two, There used to be this thing on the back of Boys Life magazines where you could sell X amount of greeting cards, and if you sold X amount of greeting cards, you could get a prize. So, like for
Mhm.
35 boxes of greeting cards, you could get like a little shitball telescope. But I wanted a TV, so I asked my parents if I could do it. My dad said yes. I'm sure he was like, "This is never going to happen." And I signed up, and I went all over town on my bike, and I sold 70 boxes or whatever it was, 70 or 75 boxes,
Nice.
enough to get the little black and white TV for my room. But I think about what a fucking just thinking about it now. You're talking about the freedom that you had to go around town. Like
Sure.
I mean, I would not have known what no soliciting would have meant in fourth or fifth grade. I know I bugged old people. I went to doors I didn't know anybody. I went door to door. Like I was probably a little fucking menace to the whole town, and they were just like, because most people that bought my cards were old people that were just like,
Sure.
look at this little cute dumb shit, like, and they let me
What's
come
gonna
into their
get you off
house,
my
and they're like,
porch faster?
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, well, no, they let me in the house. They'd be like, "You want some milk?" Or and I'm like, "No, I'm okay. I just want to show you these cards." And yeah, God, the gall of my fourth grade ass. Anyway, sorry. I hadn't thought about that in a long time. But yeah,
You got that TV though, right? You got
I
the
did
Yeah,
TV.
get
you
that
got
And
that
TV.
TV.
yeah.
Yeah, I remember because my dad was like, "Hold on, wait." He's like, "Now you can get $75, or you can send it in for the TV." He's like, "But the TV, we could maybe get it for $68." And as I learned bargaining with my dad, it was a good lesson I learned from my dad in that
Yeah.
situation.
Having a TV in your room as a kid was a like a big. I
A
got mine when I was in the
luxury.
fifth grade. That was a big deal. Like that
It
was a
was. It,
huge. That was
Yeah.
yeah. That was freedom. Like no longer had to squabble with your siblings over what you were going to watch, and like
as soon as
that
I
was a
got
big
the
deal.
TV, I was like, "Well, it's 7 p.m. Going to bed," and I'm like, I would just go
Yeah,
to bed.
exactly. Right.
I'm like, yeah, I'm getting into bed. We got HBO in here. And watch whatever I want. It's great.
Nice.
So, yeah, I was like,
You
I've
still
had
have
enough
that
of this
TV?
family. No, that TV's long gone. But
Okay.
it was
Yeah.
great in the morning too, because you could turn the TV on and I'd watch Bewitched and I Dream of Jeannie on TBS. And that'd get me going in
Yeah,
the
Nice.
I
morning.
watched a lot of Nick at Night when I was a kid. Like
Nick
that
at
Yeah,
was
oh
Night
yeah,
for
yeah, that
sure.
put me to sleep. Yeah, a
yeah,
lot of Car 54. Where are you? And
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
Mr. Ed.
oh
Wow,
yeah,
that's
Mr. Ed. Yeah, we would have otherwise not known that such the '60s was such a great time to be alive.
that's
It
true.
really
Right.
was.
I
Yeah.
really
It
watched a lot of
was.
laughing when I was growing up. It probably screwed me up a little bit, but that's okay.
That's okay. Eh, eh,
All right, should we
We're
do
all
fun?
screwed up a little bit.
we
Yeah.
should do some. Yeah.
Let's do some
Oh, headline,
headlines.
Yeah.
sure, yeah.
Headline of the week.
Okay, I gotta find them real fast. There we go. All right, I don't have a whole lot. Um, let's see. What's this one say? Oh, okay. So this is from the Kansas City Star. A little local news. It's just a little weird.
Yeah.
Why does Missouri say legalizing abortion costs $51,000? Uh, it's was noted as Amendment 3. They're voting on legalizing abortion or making it legal in the state of Missouri. It's on the ballot this year. And Amendment 3
Making it
is
legal.
making it legal, like making
Legal.
so
Okay.
it is illegal right now. Because
Oh, okay.
as soon as
Okay.
Roe versus Wade, got axed, Missouri
Oh,
was
they
like,
had
oh,
legacy laws that just kicked
yeah,
in. Yeah, there are a
yeah.
lot of states like that. Yeah.
So anyway, so people were like, well, why, if we make it, why is it going to cost $51,000 a year? Which is
Okay.
because that's part of the thing. And basically, what happened was every time they have to do one of these things, they have to make a fiscal note. Matt and I are familiar with those
Oh yeah,
because we
absolutely.
worked with fiscal notes when we worked with legislatures, which basically the money people in the legislature research department put together a thing of what it's going to cost. So
Okay.
they were trying to figure out what, if anything, it was going to cost to legalize abortion. Um, so the actual thing says state government entities estimate no costs or savings, but unknown impact. Local government entities estimated a cost of at least 51,000 annually in reduced tax revenues. Opponents estimate potentially significant loss to state revenue. So they're trying to figure out. So they're trying to figure out how they got this. Uh, okay. According to an April 2023 letter from Missouri Attorney General Andrew Bailey, State Auditor Scott Fitzpatrick requested input from 12 counties and 14 cities which reviewed the fiscal note. Just 3 counties and 2 cities responded to the request, and only one entity predicted any potential costs. Greene County, which includes Springfield. Greene County estimated that 135 future citizens would be lost in the county annually due to legalizing abortions in Missouri. So they estimated nearly $51,000 in lost revenue annually to the county based on the reduced population base. So this tiny little county, where like some fucking guy who hates this law was like, you know what? Like 135 people aren't going to move here next year because it's legal. So let's see, that's probably carry the two $51,000 in lost revenue every year. So that's why it's on there. I don't know. I just found that such a minutia bullshit, hilarious story.
I will tell you that most fiscal impact statements are not far off from the analysis done on that. There's a lot of stretching, and there's also a very political aspect to it. I've learned that that can like kind of kill a bill. So anyway, civics.
I know.
You may not
I,
matter anymore.
I just like the one guy
May
was
not.
like, he was like, how many people are gonna not move here because of abortions? I'm gonna say 135. This person has no fuck. I mean, talk about just pulling numbers out of the air.
Oh,
It's like,
absolutely, yeah.
This is from Entertainment Weekly. Jenny McCarthy declares that she and Donnie Wahlberg will, quote, never ever get divorced. So put that on your
Okay.
calendar. That's the only reason.
And
That's it. That's the
who
only
was
reason I brought this
didn't
up.
who was Donnie Wahlberg's
Jenny
beau?
McCarthy,
True love lasts,
Oh,
Jenny
Jenny
McCarthy,
McCarthy.
and Donnie Wahlberg
Yeah,
will
she
never
married a
ever get
Wahlberg.
divorced.
I didn't know that. Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
I found that out like a couple years ago. I was like, is
Not
this for real?
not the Wahlberg. One of
No, the lesser than.
yeah.
Well, it depends who you ask. I'm a New Kids on the Block fan,
Well,
so
that's right.
Oh
Too.
yeah, Donnie is. Yeah, I missed that.
yeah.
But yeah, not the. I guess the more talented Mark. Seems
Marky
like
Mark.
yeah,
Marky
Marky
Mark.
Marky
You
Mark.
know,
Yeah.
Donnie and Mark. The real life inspiration for Entourage. Did you guys know
Yes,
that?
sadly. Yes,
That's
I didn't.
true.
Yeah.
Yes. I
It
always
was-
forget that. Yeah.
yeah.
I think just collectively as a whole, society has forgotten that Entourage ever existed. Actually, um,
Uh,
okay, and this
which
was
is fine.
We've come a long way in 20 years.
We
I
have,
saw
yes.
on the HBO. It's been 20 years since that debuted, and we
I
have made
watched it.
some progress.
I watched it. I mean, that show would be canceled after the. I mean, culture canceled after the first like season, or if they try to do that now. Anyway,
Yeah.
so this popped up in the news today, and I just was so okay. So here's the deal. I'm not going to read this verbatim because this is an opinion piece, but it's got the facts in it. So, Oklahoma public schools passed a law saying that each classroom was supposed to have a Bible in it. Okay,
Oh, I saw this. Yeah, yeah.
What?
This is a good
so
story.
they need 55,000 Bibles. And the superintendent wrote the instructions for Oklahoma for the RFP. I'm assuming it was in the RFP. And basically, what he said was he wanted a Bible, and he said it had to be a King James version that included uh, two documents: the Declaration of Independence, the Constitution. Oh, sorry, and the Pledge of Allegiance. Uh, so basically,
As your
what
Bibles do,
yes,
right?
as your Bibles do. But these are school Bibles. These anyway. So there is one Bible on the market right now that fits that, and that is the Lee Greenwood Donald Trump 59.99 Bible. Uh, and I know everyone's saying Donald Trump, but let's just not cut any Lee Greenwood any slack in this whole deal. All right. I mean,
I agree. I agree.
he wrote a good
Yeah.
song. We get it. And I know you're not needing
You
some
had to
money,
listen to
but
that shit on repeat after 9/11 for like 6
Yeah,
goddamn.
forever. Oh my
Fuck that
God.
guy.
I forgot
Yeah.
about that.
Oh yeah. I think that was like the best thing that happened to that dude. If there
yeah,
was a winner in 9/11, it was Blackwater and Lee Greenwood.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yep. That was a fact. Um, yes. So anyway, once the reporters called us out, he didn't remove those from the actual RFP. He said the Bibles may include them. So this is funny for lots and lots of reasons.
Mm,
It's not like you can't find free Bibles everywhere you look. I mean, and especially if you
Oh,
ask a Christian organization for some free Bibles, they will fucking basically run over each other to hand you a free Bible.
absolutely they
Uh,
will.
that's true.
Yeah.
I mean, my church gave me a Bible knowing that I was a full heretic, even at 8th grade, uh, with my name engraved on it, and I still have it for fuck's sake. Anyway,
I still have a Bible, too, from my confirmation.
yep,
Yeah.
that's mine. And so like it's like
Yeah.
like it's not hard. And first and second off, I mean, the Bible is the most printed book in the world.
Yes.
And actually, I would assume the King James version is the most printed version of the Bible in the world.
I
So
have to
anyway,
imagine.
it's so 55 Bibles at 60 at 59.99 a piece works out to $3.3 million, and he requested $3 million to pay for the Bibles. So, what are you going to do? Anyway, I saw him on the news today. That's how it led me to this article. He was like, oh, the fake news. They're not, I don't have anything to do with that. And it's like, yeah, but you wrote the RFP. So, like, I mean, anyway,
Wow.
so he caught a lot of shit for it. Anyway, needless to say, Donald Trump's probably not going to get the money after this. Um, uh, so he'll move on to whatever his next product is. The watch, the $100,000 watch.
Oh, God.
Yeah, the
Uh,
watch,
I just read about that
the
today.
shoes. He does
Jesus.
also in the shoe market.
oh, I haven't
Yeah.
seen that. Shoot.
Oh yeah, he has. There are Trump. Remember the like the gold
Oh,
Trump
yeah, Tice, you were
sneakers
gonna
from
Oh
get
like.
yeah.
those.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh
I
yeah,
do.
that
Yeah,
was a
yeah, yeah.
while ago. That was like 5 scams ago. So I understand your
Oh, I need to
yeah.
check
It's
eBay
hard
Hard
to
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 see
keep
if
keep up with the
track.
grifting. Yeah.
I need to
Yeah.
see if somebody's moving those on eBay. Like on the DL, or like not DL, but like on the. We lost a lot of money on these things. Uh,
Hopefully on election day. Hopefully on yeah.
Yes.
Hopefully after
Yes.
election day. There's a whole bunch of those. Yeah.
no, I don't know if you guys got your let's go Brandon t-shirts yet, because they're so cheap right now. Anyway, that's neither here nor there.
I haven't, but I saw a lot of stands in Missouri, so I could have bought one
Oh, stand.
easily.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
sure you did.
It's pretty weird. Yeah.
Anyway, those are my headlines. Not a lot, but whatever.
Yeah.
So,
We're good.
Pretty good, though.
No, I
Very
actually
good.
saw an article. You mentioned the stands, and I actually saw that in North Carolina that got hit so hard by the hurricane, there were like a bunch of people looting one of the Donald J. Trump stores, one of the MAGA stores. I was like,
Yes.
I love that.
yeah.
I
I
do too.
love every part of that. Yeah, yeah, I really do. Not a big fan of looting, but that I can get behind. Like,
Yeah, that
yeah,
works.
yeah, yeah. It's not food. It's MAGA hats, and yeah, let's go, Brandon.
yeah.
Stop the Steal 2020 bumper stickers.
Oh my God.
All
The Let's
collector's
Go,
items, I'm
the
sure.
best Let's Go Brandon sticker that I saw. I sent you guys the picture, but I should have sent a whole shot of the back of the car because literally they had no bumper. Like they had been, it was perfection.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's basically you know who that person is.
Yes, you do. You
That
do.
sticker. Yeah.
You do. Yeah.
I think there's duct tape involved too. Damn it, I should have
Yes.
taken a picture of that.
Yes.
Regret. Regret.
The billionaire famous for firing people on television is going to help me. That's the always perplexed me, but what are you going to do? I've got a handful. Nothing too serious actually this week, which is kind of nice. Let's start with let's start with this one. So this is some local news. None of us were actually able to attend the Oktoberfest this weekend or last weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's been a few
Missed out.
years for myself, and I think for both of you as well. But I sent this article to you guys, and I just had to mention it. Is that in case you were wondering, the world's largest bierock record has been broken
Yeah.
with a new bierock
Woot, woot.
weighing it at 118.2 pounds.
Oof.
This is actually 20 pounds larger than the first world record. I'm not sure this is a Guinness.
Yeah. I don't. It
Do
doesn't.
my research
I
on.
don't think so either.
I think it is either
They're
because
probably like, did you make that food up? That doesn't count. It has to be like a pizza.
No, yeah.
yeah, but I sent the picture. It looks kind of gross and
Looks
disgusting. It
disgusting.
looks
I would
real
not
gross.
take a bite of that.
No, it's like looks like a hamburger laying dead in a morgue. Like it's just it's
It looks.
not appealing at all.
It looks like a human cocoon.
Oh, that got me good.
Yeah, it's not fluffy. Like you got a beer rock is not just. I mean, they're delicious.
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
don't think this did this justice. So
They are delicious. And
they're
actually,
wonderful.
like, if I could plug somebody who makes amazing beer rocks,
Oh,
and she
absolutely.
watches and listens to this podcast, Megan Solomon, girl, you got a good handle on that. And
Yeah, but
she's got such a handle on it that she's mixing it up every year. So this year she made
Oh,
like taco beer rocks that look fucking amazing. Like, you can take it in so many directions.
yeah, but Megan, how much do they weigh? I mean,
exactly. How
That's
big
true.
is it? What record did
You
this?
got to get into that competition
I
mode,
think so.
Diego.
I like, yeah, because it like I'm guessing they used like a pizza oven for this, but it just does not like.
Dude, it just looks
There's
nasty.
no. It's just it does look not good. So I don't
yeah,
know. Apparently they well, the article. The one thing that caught my eye in the article, it said the first Bierock weighed approximately 95 pounds, was limited in distribution. So apparently they made a few of these.
yeah.
Like
I
that confused
That's
me a little bit.
terrifying.
I
That
don't.
is
I still don't
terrifying.
understand what it means. I'm like limited in distribution. So like, did they couldn't cut it up enough to get rid of it? I mean, I don't.
It's probably because it was fucking gross and nobody wanted to eat it. Like that's limited distribution. It's like nobody like, oh, you want a big
I'm
slice of
drunk, but I'm not that drunk. Yeah.
right. Yeah, because like it would just be like it's like a proportional thing. Like there's no way
It is.
the ratio would
It's a
it just
handheld food, and you can't. There's no way you
Yes.
can
absolutely,
eat that with
Yes.
your
absolutely.
hand.
Right,
Yes.
right, absolutely. So anyway, I accommodate the not even really. No, I mean it's kind of neat. Some dudes
Yeah,
got together. They made a giant beer rock.
and a dream.
But yeah, so I'm gonna withhold further judgment on that.
Way to go, bros.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, I can't wait for that to be broken next year.
Oh God.
This one
We
is
need to go and just boo them. Like, just boo the shit out of that.
true. I think so. So like just make that could be our T-shirt the next time we go. Just like it's a picture of that. Maybe like bigger sucks. And yeah, I had a cache of good sort of Oktoberfest
We've
T-shirts
got
in
a
the
lot of
past. So
ideas. A lot of good
we do have a
ideas.
lot of ideas.
Got
So
to
we need to
execute.
we'll
Yeah.
try to. We say it every year, but maybe we'll try to go back and see what.
We will get our asses kicked at
Yeah.
some
I
point
know.
during
I
that
know. That
festival
is
We
whenever
that's
we
also
part of the
might
wear
make
the
that's
shirts.
we also may make a certain beer cook cry, but that's okay. I mean, anything goes at Oktoberfest. I think we all
It's
know how
fine.
that is. That's right.
true.
Yeah.
One man's dream
It's
is our
3 other
headline.
people's.
Gonna get crushed somehow.
This one is just the headline, but I thought this was great. This was from Consequence of Sound, and the headline was Mexican Coke kicked off, or sorry, Mexican Coke kicked off tour headlined by fentanyl and featuring asbestos. Uh, like that. Those are some great metal band
Wow.
names. Yeah, yeah. So also saw this. I didn't bookmark it, but there was also a metal festival I think happening in Tampa. Did you
Orlando.
see this? Where Orlando, where they
Yeah,
invite all people, they invited Kyle Rittenhouse
yeah.
because I
Oh, I
guess
did see that. Yeah.
somebody needed shooting. I don't know. But yeah, but then like the headliner backed out because they're like, "Fuck that guy." So yeah,
Well,
so
it was supposed to be. It was supposed to be like it was. I think it was a fundraiser for people suffering from PTSD. Then you invite
oh my
Kyle Rittenhouse.
god,
Yeah, then you invite Kyle Rittenhouse, and I did read. My favorite part of that whole story was that they're like, "Don't worry, we've got a corn cover band uh, playing is not the headliner."
Oh,
wow,
thank God.
or
Yeah.
Hey, crisis averted,
yeah,
everybody.
exactly. Yeah, wow. Corn cover band.
Tribute band. Sorry,
Oh,
tribute.
tribute band. Sorry.
Tribute band.
Different
Yeah.
thing.
Uh,
Oh my God.
here was a late ad. This was on CNN today, and I did not read the details of this. Again, this is more of the, but it's a museum's beer can artwork accidentally thrown in trash by staff member. So a lift technician at a museum in the Netherlands mistakenly threw away a piece of artwork made to look like two empty beer cans.
Wow.
Just trying to help.
You gotta be careful with art.
You really do.
Sometimes you need to put a sign on it. I've seen lots
This
of art.
goes straight into my theory that most modern art is trash. So this makes sense.
I kind of agree with you. Yeah, like
Yeah.
all this shit was done in like the 20s. Like So like you're not, yeah. Well, I mean, it was kind of neat. I mean, it was like Netherlandia beer, I guess. Jupiter, but yeah, it did not. I can from the photo, I kind of understand. One was crumpled. It just kind of looked like somebody left them there.
That is some funny
So fair dues on that poor janitor that threw
Yeah.
away that priceless artwork.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, maybe maybe take a lesson from this artist. Just
Yeah.
Yeah. Find a different medium, perhaps.
yeah, exactly. Maybe used Kleenex or
New,
something.
nouveau trash.
Expand your horizons.
And probably my favorite headline of the week: stolen Vienna sausages lead to
Yes.
Georgia nursing home resident being stabbed in the chest.
Amazing.
Wow.
Argument over 2 stolen Vienna sausages at a coastal Georgia nursing home ended with one man being stabbed. So another man accused the other of stealing his can of Vienna sausages. During the argument, one man pulled a knife and stabbed the other. It was unclear if the man who was stabbed was the one who lost the sausages or not. So he may have just been upset by the concept of property rights.
Yeah.
They didn't even clarify if actually his sausages or not. But now, have you guys? I have to ask this question because like my grandfather was a big fan of these things, and if you're not familiar with Vienna sausages, they come in a little can, a little round can with a pull top, and there's like, I don't know, 7, let's call it 7 little sausages in this can. And I used to gobble those things up as a kid. You could not pay me enough money
Same.
anymore to like, oh my, because I just remember like they were, but then there was like this kind of white gelatinous liquid. It's very gross. So
Yes. It had the same gelatinous liquid that you're talking about was also on deviled ham. I don't know
that's
if you
correct.
guys,
Yeah, it was so
my
it was.
mom loved both. Yeah.
Did you ever eat them as a kid?
Yeah, totally.
You did? Oh yeah.
I
Like
mean, we were like pretty poor, so like my snack would be like a cracker, and I just mush up a Vienna sausage and eat that.
Well, I thought they were little hot dogs. Like they kind of looked like little hot dogs. So
yeah,
like,
they were.
But at some point in my life, I was like, oh, I can't do that.
My buddy used to make like he would cook them for breakfast on like when we would camp out. I know.
Ooh, really?
Yeah, so like he would just take them out and then put them in a pan and then and basically just warm them up.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I don't think I warmed them up. I think I'm just.
I never did. I just eat them
right
out of the can.
Yeah. So
it was not safe. I'm pretty sure that's going to cause some issues down the line.
Yeah.
So anyway,
never know what hit you.
Maybe that's why my appendix exploded when it did. Actually, now that I think about it, oops.
Good headlines, man.
So anyway, I hope
that was good.
I hope that he's recovering. I hope. Also, again, lesson learned, right? Don't take another man's. Don't take another man's Vienna sausages.
Nope.
Another great argument for hospice care.
That is true. Yeah. Retirement planning, people.
Yes, that's right.
That's what happens.
Think about it. Get it done.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I just have a couple. And actually all 3 of us have local news, which that's exciting. So this first article, man devours 19 jalapenos in 10 minutes during eating contest at Pueblo Chili Festival. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Pueblo Chili Festival that they have in Pueblo, Colorado every year. But this year, some idiot fucking chowed down on 19 jalapenos, and the video is pretty funny and almost puked. I would not recommend it. And I know we were talking about like eating competitions a few weeks ago, so definitely wanted to plug that. It is on KKTV News. If you want to watch that, go for it. It's pretty gross.
There's a Simpsons episode exactly like that, actually.
That
my
makes sense.
Knowledge of Pueblo, Colorado is there used to be this commercial that aired all the time in the 80s about this consumer guide. It was like the catalog you could get.
Pueblo, Colorado 66219.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Damn, Tyson.
Damn, Tice.
Damn, you win.
That's pretty good.
All right, podcast over. Tyson. Damn.
That's not. Don't be proud of that. That's terrible. I should.
That's
remember,
awesome.
I should remember.
That's impressive.
No.
Okay.
No, anyway. That's always my knowledge of Pueblo. I can even remember like how they said it. Pueblo, Colorado, 260. Yeah.
You could get anything.
Stuff sinks in. Yeah, it sinks in.
It does. Some of it does for sure.
Yeah, that's a lot of jalapenos, and like it was
a
like
lot of jalapenos. Yeah, in
Yeah.
10 minutes.
Yeah, that's a
That's a
lot.
Ugh.
lot.
Did he?
That's a
Yeah.
lot.
I'm
Yeah.
thinking he like his body revolted, and or he hallucinated like Homer did.
Yeah. No, actually
Well, yeah,
earlier,
I mean, you really do with, how many peppers you take. I mean,
you
look
know,
at hot ones. Like
I
you see
use
people hallucinate.
Yeah.
I use jalapenos all like I just use them in cooking like all the time. Like I probably make
Same.
something once a week that with jalapenos and I am
Yeah.
such an idiot because I always forget to wash my hands.
Oh yeah.
And
Same.
I think it was like 2 days ago, I just rubbed my eyes and I was like, oh
It's the
fuck.
worst pain
It's
ever.
awful. Oh my god. So I just like laid on the couch for like half an hour, just like blinking like an idiot. Be like,
Yeah,
it'll go away.
I
It'll go
have been
away.
there. Yeah,
Oh.
especially after I use it to put a contact in or take a contact
Oh,
out.
yeah, that would be
Oh
The
real.
fuck it
Oh,
it's
yeah.
torture. It's
It is
torture. Yeah.
unforgiving. Yeah, yeah. And yeah,
Use
not to
gloves, wash your hands. Yeah,
yeah.
it's
And I will
not good.
say as a male, the only worst mistake you can make is going to the bathroom immediately after covering jalapenos.
uh,
It's-
he's not
that
terrible. He's
also
not
is
not
highly
wrong.
unpleasant.
That's not
Yes,
great.
that is
Oh,
It's
also
not.
guys.
highly
That's
unpleasant.
not no.
Yeah.
That's
So
hard. That's hard.
That's
Oh
why.
god.
That's why I don't cook.
That's why I don't cook.
uh,
Nice. Oh my god. Well, this next one, I feel like everybody has heard about Moodang at this point, but I saw this little article. I think it was from Smithsonian Magazine. Adorable baby hippo Moodang is more than a viral sensation. She offers a rare glimpse of an endangered species. So everybody knows Moodang, pygmy hippopotamus in a Thailand zoo that has taken the internet by storm. I also love Moodang. Every little video of that little guy biting one of the zookeepers in the knee or just yelling at the crowd. I'm here for it. I also they did a spoof on SNL,
they
right?
did. That
They
was
did.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
very
That
funny.
costume was amazing.
Yeah. That was good.
Yeah.
Hose.
I mean, it was great. The bit was awesome, but I just kept staring at the costume. I'm like, well done. That is
Yeah.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That
So
between that and
I'm a big fan.
the penguin too. Like I caught up on with that this week too. I didn't know about that either. The giant penguin.
I don't know about the giant penguin.
Oh, do you guys know?
What's their name?
I don't know what their name is. Sorry, but there's these penguins had a baby, and the baby's twice as tall as both parents already, and it's
Oh
still a
wow.
baby. It
Wow.
doesn't even have white fur yet. It's still like, you gotta look at it. It's adorable. It's
Wow.
absolutely adorable.
Aw.
It sounds like exotic animals are like the antidote to reality.
There
It's
you
like
go.
It's
yeah, like I
very
think
much
that's it.
that.
Yeah, I
Yes,
think
we
that's
need an escape. Yeah.
we really do.
Speaking
Yes.
of which, the name the bear thing is getting started. Like in this week, I think. You know what I'm talking about? The Alaska name the Alaskan bear, or your vote for your favorite Alaskan bear. Like, do
I
you guys
don't
not
know
know what
about
I'm talking
that.
about? They
Uh-uh.
they do
No.
it every
I
year.
did see something about that, and apparently one of the contestants. It was almost a headline. Funny enough that you mentioned that. Apparently one of the contestants has died in a bear attack.
No, no.
So yeah. So, and I have to remind you, the contestants are bears, so it's
Bears,
not as
right?
sad as it sounds. Still, bear attack contestant. You draw your own conclusions. But yeah. So unfortunately,
Uh,
the field is narrowed this year. So
so yeah. Sorry, Dawson. Go ahead. I'll look
Oh
up the
no, you're
penguin.
good.
I'll send you the penguin.
Yeah, send us the penguin. This last one is I don't know. It just kind of warms my heart in the midst of all this stupid shit. But some right wing idiot. The headline is, and it's from HuffPo. Taylor Swift didn't actually sign the guitar that a Texas man paid $4,000 to smash. Source says. So apparently, some fucking moron paid $4,000, who immediately smashed the guitar like a hammer. It was not authentic, like he thought it was.
That's amazing.
She didn't actually sign it. So again, I just love it. People are so fucking stupid these days, and that just
oh
really
my god, yeah.
illustrates it in a
Well,
beautiful way.
Did you see the initial video of him
Yeah,
smashing it? At like as
yeah.
immediately he thought it was like the coolest thing he'd ever
He
done.
was so proud of himself. I
Ugh.
mean, wow.
I'll have to look it up.
Yeah,
No.
it's fantastic, Tice.
It renders an empty gesture even emptier. It's really
Yeah,
nice.
it really does. Yeah. Good on you, dumbass. All
Yeah,
right, well, that's it.
Oh, just
Those are the headlines.
very nice.
very
Very nice.
nice.
I just want to say I just fact checked myself, and Pueblo, Colorado's zip code starts with 81, so I was wrong. Anyway,
81604. What was it?
It's 818117, or sorry, 80817. It could, I mean, there's so many. There's so many in
I'm gonna have to
Pueblo
look
County.
that up because I wanted. I think it was
I
like
can't
the
remember.
consumer guide something. Like I like before the internet. Like it basically was all the knowledge in the world.
It was, yeah.
Like you had that in the Farmer's Almanac, and you were on your own.
It was
And
so much
yeah,
information.
yeah,
You had to order a catalog that would tell you all the many things that you could get free information about.
it's true.
Yeah.
Also, oh, I forgot about one headline. R.I.P. Dame Maggie Smith. She died at 88, which is crazy. But she's been in a lot of great stuff. I loved her. What was it in Hook? She played Wendy. There's a bunch of other
Oh
stuff.
yeah, she's on. Yeah.
Harry Potter.
Yeah,
Sorry, the Harry Potter fans were
I think
about to kill me.
I saw a thing where she said that, like, until Harry Potter, she could, even though she'd won a Tony and an Oscar and all this stuff, she could
Yeah,
still walk down the street and people wouldn't recognize her. But
Yeah.
Harry
yeah.
Potter kind of screwed that all up.
Screwed that up. Way
Uh,
to go.
Hold on, I just found the actual address of that place. It's now called the U.S. Government Bookstore. It's pueblo.gpo.gov,
Oh, so they
and
moved it online.
they moved it online, that's a straight up cheat. Um, where's the kitschiness in that? Uh,
I like
oh,
to think they still get letters with a, like.
yeah, I'm looking for an address, but I can't find one. Contact us. Anyway, you can play the music. Sorry,
All right, we're
I'll
going to
keep
get
working
into
on this.
plugs while Tyson continues to fact
Continues
check
his
himself.
research.
Yeah.
You, the ice cream manufacturer. You, the frozen food distributor. And you, the food retailer. Stand today in the midst of a selling revolution. For today, you're in a merchandising era of self-service, where display and accessibility are the key to successful merchandising. Yes, today's problem is merchandising. To sell in high volume for high profits, frozen products are impulse items, and impulse buying is primarily an emotional decision.
Okay, so I went to my first concert in a long time, which was nice since visiting you guys. So that was great. I went and saw the Lemonheads and this guy named John David Kent
Nice.
open for him. It was at the Truman in Kansas City. John David Kent used to be in this band called Radish, which had Ben Queller in it before he went solo, and they were
No
from
way.
they were from Austin, Texas, and he was a drummer. Turns out he was also playing drums for the Lemonheads, and he had previously played with the Lemonheads at some point. He
That's
was
cool.
he played acoustic guitar, and his stepson played with him, and he played a mean country lick guitar. It was quite good. It was good enough that I bought a record, and then the Lemonheads came on, and so when you go to see the Lemonheads, you got a few things to figure out. So Evan Dando, famously sort of druggy, the
Yeah.
addict. I've seen him do a completely sober show. I've seen him do a completely not sober show.
Yeah.
I've seen several of those. I've seen one acoustic show where he was fine. I could not tell how he was doing because he's gotten a little kind of looser. But anyway, this show was interesting because they did "It's a Shame About Ray" and "Come On Feel the Lemonheads" in its entirety. That's what they were supposed to do.
Mhm.
So he came out and he would play a couple songs from the record, and then he would play like 3 cover songs, but he wouldn't tell you what they were. So if you didn't know what they were, you didn't know what they were. And
Right.
then he would do some more from the record, and then he would do that. And he was sloppy sometimes, but it was okay. But it was still good. It was entertaining. I met a nice drummer upstairs. We actually kind of became Facebook friends. And then upstairs, sorry, we were sitting in the upstairs place because obviously I can't stand for a show. Anyway, obviously, anyway, so anyway,
You aren't a giant blue
I
recliner.
was going to
Like,
say you're in a
fair enough.
chair.
fair enough.
So
That's fair. Yeah.
it
Uh,
is obvious.
so anyway, uh, he played a bunch of acoustic stuff with the band, like where they would have normally taken a break, including walking away from the mic and just playing to the room and singing just to the room and playing, and it was really cool. He did outdoor type uh, acoustic when he did that, and then he was playing through the second record, and then he was playing something. He was doing one of his things, and he stops and he looks at the audience and he goes, "What did you say? Who said that?" And everyone's just dead quiet. And he's like, "Who said that?" Somebody was like, so I heard somebody say, "Oh, Devin," like, "Oh, here goes Devin," or Evan, "Here goes Evan again." "Oh,
Mhm.
Evan." And he's like, "Who said that? Was it you?" And he points at this girl or a guy, I'm not sure. And then like nobody's saying anything, and he goes, "That's it." And he puts his guitar down on the floor and then left. And that was the end of the show. He did,
What?
and so
Wow.
he didn't make it through the whole record. So when I was waiting in line to get into the place, this guy flew in from Texas, from Dallas that morning to see the show, and was flying out at 6 a.m. the next day to get home for work. And I ran into him afterwards, and he was at the front of the stage, and he was like, "Oh, and by the way, when he left the stage, like everybody's like, what's going on?" And the guy who was like the the roadie, he came out
Mhm.
on stage and he just looked at the sound guys and goes, and so they turned on the house lights and the music,
Wow.
and
Shut up. That sucks so hard.
so he only made it through half, but he only made it through half the songs on the second record. And so the guy from Dallas was like, "Please, can I have this set list, please, please, please?" And the guy's like, "Yeah," and he gives it to me, and sure enough, there's the rest of the songs that he's supposed to play. And the
Yeah.
guy's like, "I flew up here to hear Dog and Can't Decide, which is the second to last song on the second record." And he was unbelievably pissed. Everyone was confused. No one knew what was
Yeah,
going
I
on.
bet.
And like it was just this whole thing. And I mean, literally, it was kind of great because it was one of those moments where everybody kind of came together and started talking to each other, like trying to figure out what happened. Like people we had not been talking to at all, though, but we became a community in confusion. It was
Right. Right.
uh, so that was kind of nice, but it was just straight. And to be fair, like he had played a long time, like
Yeah.
he hadn't even finished the set, and he was 35-40 minutes over an hour and a half. So he was like almost at the 2 hour and 5 minute mark, and they weren't close to being done. So I mean, it seemed like he was having a good time. Most of the people were very positive. It was just real strange. And so anyway, went downstairs, talked to the guy, got a couple pictures of the set list, just I don't know, just to remember.
Send me some of those pictures, by the way.
Okay. And so and they were really good. I mean, the stuff they played from the record was great. A lot of stuff I didn't recognize. They played some Sabbath songs and whatever. I found it, but anyway, that doesn't matter. Anyway, so when we were leaving, um, I was with my neighbor, my MAGA friend, and we were. It can happen. You can go to shows across the aisle. It's fine. It happens.
That's true.
Anyway,
I've done it. I continue to do it
uh,
with our
but
friends in Fort Collins.
so
It's fine.
yeah, it happens. So we were walking, and then so there was the drummer and the bass player for the Lemonheads outside smoking a cigarette, and they were on the way to the car, and so I wanted to get a picture of this guy whose album I bought. I was like, "I know you can't sign this, but I was just wanted you to hold the picture or hold the album. This will be my proof that you signed it, kind of."
Hmm.
And then I got a picture with him because my buddy was like, "Whatever." Anyway, um, got home next day, called Beth, told her the story, and she'd seen the Lemonheads when they were on the first "It's a Shame We're Out Ray" tour with me and Lawrence, and was like, never again, because he was so fucked up. She's like, it's just not even worth my time. Um, and so she's like, did you ask them what happened? I was like, no. I was like, that's like a faux pas that I was not going to ask the rhythm section what it's like to play with Evan Dando, on a regular basis. I'm sure they didn't seem phased at all. So I
Yeah.
wouldn't be surprised if this happens all the time, or something like this happens all the time.
Right. Right.
It almost seemed like he was embarrassed, that he called, like he was high or something, and then he realized what he'd done, and then because he was in his head, and then he was like, I don't know how to recover from this, and he just put his guitar down.
Bolted. Yeah.
Just left. So
Yeah.
anyway, that was a show. It was very interesting. I've been saving that story for the podcast. I thought that you guys would enjoy that. This is I'm going to read you this list here. This is kind of a plug. So these are the albums that turned 30 years old
Oh,
in
fuck.
September 2024. Okay, I'm going to read them to you. I want you to count how many you have owned or still own.
Okay.
Okay.
Ready to Die, Notorious B.I.G., Monster by R.E.M., Protection by Massive Attack, Chocolate and Cheese by Ween, Under the Table and Dreaming by Dave Matthews Band, File Under Easy Listening by Sugar, Flesh by David Gray, Born Dead by Body Count, Honey by Robert Palmer, If I Were a Carpenter by Various, the Carpenter tribute album.
Oh, I do own
think
that,
so.
actually.
I had that.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's pretty good.
It was.
Yeah.
It was really good, actually.
I may have to listen to that.
Pony Express Records by record by Shudder to Think, Universal Mother by Sinead O'Connor, Four by Blues Traveler, John Henry by They Might Be Giants, Red Hot and Country by Various, Kylie Minogue's Kylie Minogue, Whip Smart by Liz Phair, Mighty Joe Moon by Grantley Buffalo, Fun by Daniel Johnston. I had that.
Oh, I have that too.
Day for Night by the Tragically Hip, American Thighs by Veruca Salt,
Yes.
Ruby Vroom by Soul Coughing,
Oh
Holiday,
my God.
Holiday by Magnetic Fields, Brandy's album Brandy, and Divine Intervention by Slayer. How you guys doing?
8.
9.
Oh,
I had 7. So
nice. Look at that.
I was
Well,
like,
I had some of the shitbag ones like Brandy and like fucking.
isn't that crazy though? All those records came out in September 2024.
That's
That
nuts.
is nuts.
And a lot of
It was
them.
30 years ago? Is that what you said, Tice?
Yeah. 1994.
Yeah. Oh,
So,
Jesus.
little
Gonna
fun
have
thing.
a little drink on that one.
Part 2 on our We're Old this week. Okay.
We're old. Yes, that's the name.
I watched a bunch of movies because Beth was out of town watching her cousin. And so I watched a bunch of movies I knew she wouldn't like. I watched this movie called Sting, which is about a alien spider that lands on Earth and terrorizes an apartment complex in Kansas City. Sorry, not Kansas City. And wishful thinking there. In New York City. And it is quite fun. It's funny and fun and legit scary, I would say. And even has a couple decent jump scares. So I would recommend watching that if you like that sort of thing. I watched this movie called Blink Twice that has Zoe Kravitz directed it. It's got
Oh yeah, Channing Tatum.
Channing Tatum's in it. And it was interesting. It was good.
Okay.
It was good. Interesting idea, interesting concept. Kind of saw the reveal at the end coming. I personally kind of saw it, but I don't know that anyone. I don't know that it was that obvious. I was just kind of guessing. Anyway, definitely, it's a thriller. It's not really a horror movie. It's definitely a thriller. There's anyway. If you like that sort of thing, I would recommend watching it. Lots of drug use in that movie. I watched, and then I went to the theater and I saw Batman Mask of the Phantasm, which is my favorite Batman movie, which was the first animated one. And I'm telling you guys this, but it was a big thrill for me because it took me over 30 years. That came out in 1989 in the theaters, and I never saw it until 2024. So I was very happy to see that movie.
I had no idea they had an
happy for you.
I had no idea they had an animated Batman movie in '89.
It came out before the Keaton one.
Did it really? Wow.
Yeah, and
I saw that one.
Yeah, yep. That was a beauty. That was a beauty.
I love that one. That's my favorite Batman.
Yep, that's a good one. And then as a double feature, I watched that, and then I watched Alien Romulus.
How was that?
It was good.
Yeah?
It was more like Aliens than Alien.
Oh, okay.
So it was more action than scary. But it definitely was scary, but not like Prometheus scary, where it's like it's all tension. It was more like legit scary, like monsters are coming.
Ooh.
Kind of thing. So
is it available for rent on the streaming platforms?
I have not seen it. I have not seen it anywhere yet.
Okay.
I watched it as a double feature because it was leaving the theater that day. That was the last time I
Okay.
could see it. So anyway, and then I just started watching the show. It's on HBO. It's on Max and CNN. It's got Have I Got News for You. It's hosted by Ed Wood, or Roy Wood Jr. And then co-hosted by Amber Rufkin and uh, uh, oh, I lost his name. He was one of the guys in Stella. Uh,
Michael
Michael Ian
something.
Michael
Black.
Ian Black.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Michael Ian Black. Yep.
So they all do this thing. It's kind of a game show where they do. It's an hour long. It's weekly, and it's political. The first game is terrible, but the rest of the games are actually a lot of fun. It's like, Anyway, it's definitely worth your time watching it, and it is kind of addictive, and it is quite funny. So I added it to my Monday watching. Watch John Oliver, then watch that. So let's see, did I have anything else? Oh yeah, the record for the week. The record for this week is Paradise Population 10 by Christian Lee Hudson.
Very nice.
I've decided I'm not gonna say anything about these albums. I'm just gonna let you. I'm just saying that this is the album I think you should listen to this week.
Okay. I like
Nice.
that.
Okay. That works.
And my unplug. I rarely have unplugs, but
Yeah, you do.
and
Weird.
this is kind of a stretch for an unplug, but I just want to point it out. So it was time to upgrade phones. So we got Apple 16s. Nice phone, pretty cool. I don't know if you've seen the commercials for it. You hit the button and Apple Intelligence goes, yeah. No,
Uh-huh.
it just doesn't do anything. There's no way to make that thing do that the commercial does. We haven't been able to figure it out. So
False advertising.
yeah,
More lies.
I
More
mean,
A bunch of
lies.
bullshit.
I don't know why that it doesn't bother me, but it just seems weird that like
Hey, Tim Cook, get your shit
the
together.
one thing they show on all the commercials was supposed to be amazing. I guess a visual cue for Apple's intelligence, which I have not used on this, by the way. I don't know what I would do with it, but there are some nice things about it, and I do like the new iOS, and the camera's good, and it's got super slow motion, which I tested the other day, and that is really cool.
Ooh.
Cinematic. It's called cinematic camera.
Okay.
Anyway, so it's really more of a non-plug. And that's
It's a neutral plug.
yeah, basically.
It's
Yeah,
a
phone's
it's a
fine. It's not a game changer, but it's nice to we had 12, so it's always nice to have an upgrade.
That's
Tyson's
four.
tech review. It's fine.
It's fine.
That's right.
It's fine.
I think it's fast. I think it's got a processor in there, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, it seems okay.
All right. It's working.
Yeah. Now I was curious because I did read the reviews, the aggregation of the reviews, and apparently the new Joker movie is god fucking awful.
Looks bad.
Will you see it? You still planning on seeing it?
No,
did you
I am
see it?
not going to see it in the theater, I don't think.
I didn't like
Sorry.
the
Pass.
first one, so I'm not. I
Yeah,
definitely
okay.
wasn't gonna
I
see
kind
it.
of didn't
Okay.
either. Super depressing and fucked up. So,
But
Yeah.
everything I've read is that they made a movie that everyone who liked the first movie would hate. So I mean, again, just proving that Todd Phillips is not that good. But
yeah.
Fair enough.
just my call. Yeah, you know what was funny? Old school. After that, he should have just fucking hung it up.
I forgot that was him. Yeah. He started off strong. It was
He
sort of a
did, and
slow.
Yeah.
And that's just been whatever since then. So
Yeah,
thank
well.
God they wanted him to take over the DC universe instead of
Oh.
Gunn. That would have been
Wow.
he'd be fired at this point because it underproduced so bad. What I read. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead. I'm done. We're going extra long
Smith?
tonight. Sorry.
Oh, my turn. Yes. I don't have many. I have one, which Dawson, I hope I'm not stealing this from you, but do you have
Ooh.
more than one?
I have a couple.
Okay, good.
I feel
If
like
steal it-
we're going to have, yeah, it might be.
I think we all watched this.
Mosquitoes.
And so this popped up on Paramount way sooner than I expected it to. This has been airing in the Alamo Draft
Yeah.
House
Yeah.
for months now, or a couple months anyway. And yeah, it just popped up on Paramount Plus. And that is Casa Bonita Mi Amor, which is a documentary about the I'm gonna get their names wrong. Matt Stone and
Trey Parker.
Trey Parker.
Trey Parker of South Park fame, and their rehabilitation after they purchased it, which was a goddamn nightmare. And it is funny. I mean, what did they? I I won't
I
ruin
loved
how
it.
much they spent, but it was it was a lot more
Well,
than they anticipated.
they bought it for like $3 or $4 million, and then the cool thing about the documentary is you just see the ticker going
Yes,
up and up
yes,
and
like
up
every month.
throughout the. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
fantastic, and it gets to over 40 million, I think, by the
yeah,
end.
and
Yeah.
it's a really well done documentary. It kind of follows like kind of all the problems they run into. That kind of the decision whether to continue rehabilitating it or not. But it is really it was I think for people who haven't been there, I would encourage you to watch it still, just because it kind of I think does a very good job of describing what was so unique and appealing
Yeah,
about that place,
Yes.
especially to
Yeah, for
kids, and
sure.
what it made it special.
it
So
explained
yeah,
it explained everything to Beth. She totally got it after she watched it.
yeah,
You know.
Yeah.
it's a very cool story, and good on them for like just kind of doing it. Like it's cool to see somebody pour that kind of money into a passion
Yeah,
project.
Into a
Uh,
passion project. It's the best documentary about passion project I've ever
Absolutely,
seen.
absolutely. So
yeah,
so
I would agree.
that is my plug over the week. Again, it's on Paramount Plus. If you have the Paramount Plus, check it out. Check it
I
out.
love it.
Yeah,
Yeah. I will second that
yeah,
plug.
yeah. Me too. Very good.
Yep.
Also,
And
quite funny. Quite funny.
It's very
super
funny. Yeah,
funny. Trey Parker, like just the thought that he especially put into it was above and beyond. It's
Yeah,
very sweet. And just to put himself in like that child mentality,
yes,
when he was looking at every freaking part of that restaurant,
yeah,
uh, I mean, it looks like it was a nightmare, but he pulled it off.
yeah.
And I can't wait for you guys to come here and see it. It's going to be fun.
Because it is
Well,
frightening, like how bad of a condition.
oh
Like
my god.
oh
you
my
knew
god,
it
were you
wasn't kept
guys
up,
like
but
fucking like ready to puke? Because I
yes.
had definitely been there
Me too.
around
Oh,
2000, I want to say.
absolutely.
Well,
I was there.
With
94.
the duct tape on the floor and shit, I was like, "Oh my god!" I had
Yeah,
no idea the ventilation system worked
I was
like
there within like 5 years of it closing. Like I was there in like
Oh
that.
yeah.
Ugh,
2009,
yeah,
2010. So it was So
Oh,
but
you guys are
anyway,
way closer than I was, but I mean, I was like
you
there
were
in '94.
closer to the heyday. Yeah,
Yeah, but I
yeah.
mean, still though, I mean, if they sold it to that company and the company stopped putting money into it in '79 or whatever,
yes,
I mean, I was just like, that's 16, 15 years after, as I was like, oh, so yeah.
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 Anyway,
Ugh.
So
That part was a little fucking too much,
yeah,
but
so,
good on him for
yeah,
showing it.
yeah,
yeah, for sure.
I have a mosquito that's flying around me, so if you see me randomly hitting myself, it's not me going crazy.
not
It
Tourette.
is a bloodsucker. All right. I have a couple others on top of Casa Bonita, Mi Amor. Um, it's spooky season, so I'm going to start plugging something spooky every week. There is a podcast called A Funny Feeling, and it's hosted by comedians Betsy Sidaro and Marcy Giroux. They basically invite their comedian friends to tell their paranormal experiences and invite listeners to call in with theirs. Their sign off is a treat. That's all I'm going to say because I really want people to listen to it. She was on Rachel Dratch's Woo Woo podcast, and that's how I heard about it. Hilarious. They're very funny. Big fan. Check it out. And then Jonas and I went to our first Colorado Rapids soccer game when I flew back from Kirksville this past weekend on Saturday. And that was my first soccer game experience, and it was super fun. I don't know if you guys have been to a soccer game yet, but I fucking loved it. And I cannot wait to go back, even though the Rapids sucked ass. And what was it? The Seattle Sounders beat them by 1 goal. But I don't know. I kind of felt bad for the guys. That's a lot of running,
Yeah.
and definitely got a different perspective than watching it on television. So it was at Dick's Sporting Goods Stadium here in Denver, and we tailgated beforehand, which was a whole different experience I haven't done since going to Arrowhead, I think,
Wow.
back in like, I don't know, 2006-ish, probably. So super fun all around. Big fan. Highly recommend checking out a soccer game. But those are my plugs.
Hey,
Very good.
hey.
Yes.
So
We're right at time.
you are. Look at that.
Wow.
It just suddenly became the time that we do
The time
our
it,
show.
it really is the time. It's like anywhere between an hour and 34 to 37 minutes, I feel like is our sweet spot.
It's very organic. It's very organic, and I appreciate
Yes.
it. Like, yeah,
Yeah. I
yeah,
always think it's gonna maybe run long, and then we always just wrap it up, so
yeah, yeah.
way to go, guys.
All right.
All right, always a pleasure.
Yep. Good show, guys.
Absolutely.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Bye.